say stories, things we shouldn't say, but we're gonna laugh about them anyway. Hey, welcome to Glick's Comedy Lounge, where the jokes go wild and the laughs get loud. Hey, pull up a seat, stay all night long. Tell a crazy story, sing along to the song. Tell us how it went down. At Glick's Comedy Lounge. Guests on the couch with a wild tale to tell. From the road, the stage, or a barroom hell. The crowd's getting loud and the stories get strange. Every single night the chaos rearranges. No scripts here, just the truth and the laughs, and maybe a roast if you cross Glick's path. Hey, welcome to Glick's Comedy Lounge, where the jokes go wild and the laughs get loud. Hey, pull up a seat, stay all night long. Tell a crazy story, sing along to the song. Whoa. Tell us how it went down. Whoa. At Glick's Comedy Lounge. Late nights, lose minds, stories all around. You're hanging out tonight at Glick's Comedy Lounge. Hey, welcome to Glick's Comedy Lounge, where the jokes go wild and the laughs get loud. Hey, pull up a seat, stay all night long. Tell a crazy story, sing along to the song. Whoa. Tell us how it went down. Whoa. At Glick's Comedy Lounge.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. So you know that on Wednesdays here on the Nonsensical Network, we bring the funny with the Glick's Comedy Lounge, a little comedy unleashed for you. If you're not already, make sure you guys give us a follow. bio.link/nonsensical network. All the social media is there for you to give us a check us out, see what we're doing, when we're doing, and who's going to be on the shows next. Shows are live basically 7 days a week at this point on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Yes, we're back on X. And you can listen whenever you want on any of the podcasting platforms. The Nonsensical Network. Don't forget YouTube. We got them super likes in effect, or super chats, and the gifts if you guys want to help support us over here on the network. Keeping the lights on, so to say, doing what we do. It's not a requirement, but it is greatly appreciated. But enough about us and enough about me. Shout out to the chat real quick. Wally's in there smashing that like, share, and subscribe button. What's up, Daniel? We're hanging out tonight with, I find him to be funny. I'm checking out his social media. And a veteran of this great state, or the great United States of America. One and only Mr. Trevor Clumpner. And
hey,
words are kicking my ass tonight, so I'm gonna.
No, it's all right. No one ever gets it right. No one ever gets it right. It's fine.
Was I close?
What'd you say?
Clumpner.
No, that's exactly right.
Boom, nailed it.
Yeah.
You might be the
I heard
first one that I got right. You might be the first one that I've gotten right so far, but I've been kicking myself right in the dick with some of these comedians' last names, and I'm just like, fuck it. I'm a hillbilly from middle of nowhere ass Ohio, and I'm gonna wing it and just hope for the best. So what's going on, man? How you doing?
Good. Just enjoying. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, this Wednesday nights. And just yeah. You know, the amount of times I've gone on stage and been nervous I was going to get the comedian's name wrong. I could write a book.
I used to be really good at it. I had a knack for it. I used to work for, well, I ain't ashamed of it. I used to work for Aaron's, and I just delivered furniture. It was a nice little gig to have for a little while. But our MITs, our managers and trainees who did all the collections and stuff, they would come to me because they could never pronounce people's last names, and I would usually nail them on the head. Now that little superpower is completely out the window. Now that I'm like, oh, I'm interviewing people, and I got to make sure I don't look like an asshole and offend them and say their name wrong.
No one really cares. If you're comedians, they're used to it. The amount of times I've seen people just blank and say something like Mr. Comedian or something like that, it's crazy. And then that person has to go on and be like, my name's Brad, you know.
Right. I mean, I have kind of one of those last names too, but yeah, I've never been one to get offended. It's just like, I get it.
Glick? Isn't Glick your last name?
Yeah, Glick's my last name.
And no one can get that right.
Oh God, I've heard it all. I've heard it all. Click.
You ever get like Gleek?
I've gotten Gleek.
You know, the thing where they spit?
Yeah. I actually just got that at work the other day, but I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I don't know how you got that, but cool. No, it's one of those things, you know. If you've got a weird name or a hard to pronounce name, you're probably used to it. It ain't no reason in getting offended over it at the end of the day.
My girlfriend gets her last name's Hermson, and everyone gets that wrong. I can't literally look. My favorite one was she was introduced once as Kate Adonis. Not even close.
They're just giving up on life.
Different letter, different spelling. I don't think any of the same letters are present. Crazy.
Yeah, just screw it. Fuck it. I'm done. I've given up on life. We're gonna completely rename you at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, shut up, Mandy. You're older than me. Right out the gate, man. How long you been doing this crazy thing, stand-up comedy?
I never know anymore. I thought 5 years last year, but I guess it's 5 years this year. Yeah, I think this July will be 5 years for me.
Damn, you're almost up there. And what is that? Is there like, God, I had a buddy of mine tell me this. Like comedian years were like dog years. I can't remember what he said it was.
TJ Miller always said it as like at 5 years is when you are figuring out like if I'm going to keep doing this or not. Mm-hmm. 10 years is when you like really start like figuring out your voice. And then, you know, after that, that's, you know, you've obviously continued on, which I always thought was crazy because he said that 5-year thing to my friend Grizzly. And I was like 2 years in at that point. And I remember being like, I'll never quit. I'll never think about quitting. That's insane. And now that I'm nearing it, I'm like, oh, I get it now. I get it. This is hard.
You know, that's the funny, and that's why I don't do it. That's why I don't do it. I like to think I'm a funny guy. I like to think that I say some funny shit. I have no aspirations and no desire to get up on a stage and do what you guys do. I'm terrified of public speaking, but B, I don't handle. I don't want to get up there and eat shit, you know, in front of a crowd.
That's part of it.
You know, I like this. I can do this, and I can be right here in my bedroom. And if I do a show and the show eats shit, I can pretend like nobody's seen it and nobody's ever gonna watch it.
Yeah, you just delete it.
Yeah, bye, gone. Same rules as marriage. 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, you can delete it. You can delete a marriage. It's awesome.
You can delete a marriage as well. Yes, I have been there before, unfortunately.
Hey, you look like you're on your eighth marriage. That's the vibe you're giving me.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I feel like it's something. I've only been married once, but in the last 8 years or so since my divorce, I've had some interesting relationships that have all just kind of panned out right here on this fun network. So yeah, I feel like
so everyone's got to watch you go through Hatchet Lady, ICP fan, just all the different types of women you've been dating.
Yeah, all the levels of crazy.
Yeah.
And now they're like, we don't know what to think. He's in a happy, healthy relationship. This is weird.
Same, man. It's awesome. Never thought I'd get here.
Shut up, Mandy.
Seven Hookers. That's a good band name.
It's wild when when you finally find that and they're like, wow, this is what a healthy relationship is like, and this is a new, interesting, kind of scary territory. But
I look at my past relationships. I've been in a bunch of them, but when I think of the serious ones where I was genuinely upset when they ended. Mm-hmm. I just think about who I'm with now, and just the amount of I wasn't willing to work on myself in past relationships, and so I'm like, oh, this must be the person I'm with because I'm actually trying to be a better person with them. So I don't know, just my 2 cents on that.
That's 100% accurate. I mean, I think I think I reached a point where, for me personally, I was already trying to do better and be better, and then when she came along, it was that extra encouragement and incentive.
Mm-hmm.
All right, keep up the good work. This is your reward. Don't fuck it up, dumbass.
I want to be the person she deserves.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. How does she feel about your comedy? Is she a big supporter?
She's also a stand-up comedian.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. Makes it very easy.
Understands.
Yeah. Well, it was hard in the beginning because we both started kind of around the same time. Mm-hmm. So sometimes ego would get in the way of stuff, but we've definitely worked on that, and it's very easy now. It's just there's no problem whatsoever. She supports me, I support her. I'll bring her with me if I can. She'll bring me with her if she can. It's just keeps it very easy. We just look at each other as equals rather than her's my competition and vice versa.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those, you guys both being in the in that same world. If you succeed, she succeeds, and vice versa.
Exactly. Yeah. And, money's going to the same mouths.
Yeah, and if one of you blow up, then maybe you're always going to need an opener. So
exactly. Exactly. Do you know who Mary Mack is?
I have heard that name.
She brings her husband along. He was for a while blowing up, and then he was bringing her, and then now she's blown up, and now he's opening for her. I just think it's a funny dichotomy of the relationship to have it switch back and forth like that.
Yeah, I mean, you always hear, and I listen to a radio station out of Florida. It's 102.5 The Bone, and the morning show. Calta is really good friends with a lot of comedians like April Macy and Bert and Robert Kelly and a bunch of other ones, and they always. He's had a few on there that are dating other comedians.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I'm blowing up, so she's just automatically coming with me anyways.
That works.
Each other and vice versa. So I think that's a great way to do it if you're gonna be with somebody in the same industry rather than trying to compete with each other.
Well, fortunately, she's actually funny, so it makes it easy. That's very helpful.
Wait a minute.
If I was dating an unfunny comedian, I don't know if I could do that.
Oh, okay. I know who her husband is. Okay, I had to look. I know who she is. Yeah, I looked her up.
Yeah,
okay.
She's great.
Yeah, I know who she is. Sometimes I don't recognize the comedian's name, and then I see their face, and I go, oh.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome, man. I seen, and I know when you first reached out to me, one of the names that you've opened up for a lot of people, and one of the names that really jumped out at me because I freaking love her is Miss Pat.
Oh yeah, that was just this year. That was great.
I was gonna say, what was that like for you? I mean, because I know she's out there. She's hysterical. I love her to death.
Let's see here. So Miss Pat's very nice. I'll start by saying that before I say anything else. Um, so the issue is it's not with Miss Pat. The issue is that yeah, sometimes if I'm no, I wouldn't say outdo each other, but we definitely want to bring like the best that we can to each performance, and if it just so happens to outshine the other one, that's just bonus points. Yeah, so Miss Pat, she was very nice. But the problem is, so Skyline is a very small comedy club.
Mhm.
Like I think 180, 190 is the maximum seating. And the green room is tiny. There's a couch and a chair. That's all that's really in there. I mean, there's a fridge and a TV and stuff, but I'm talking about like sitting area. And so Miss Pat brings her makeup artist, her opener, her hairdresser, her merch person, and her assistant, I think the other person was. So I couldn't even get into the green room to really hang out. So I was out on the floor the entire weekend. And I only talked to her maybe a couple of times. But every time I talked to her, she was very sweet, very nice. Because I'm also a big fan of hers. I love Miss Pat. She's so funny. But I've never really opened for a predominantly black audience like that before. That was new for me. I'm not for them. We'll just say that, which is fine. I know your audience. But I did have a lot of fun. It was a good learning experience. I didn't bomb or anything. It wasn't my best work.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And that's something that, doing this show, I've got to talk to other comedians about is not only knowing your room, but like knowing your location. If you're on the road,
yeah.
Like if your jokes lean one way and you're in California versus Texas, they're gonna hit differently.
Yes, I mean even just city by city, like Chicago, I've notoriously struggled in, but I can crush in Minneapolis. Don't know why.
No, that's. I think that would be the the hardest thing in my opinion is just like you said, city to city. The crowd's going to be different, and you're not going to be. You're not going to be taken the same way in each city. So, like, do you try to change your set a little bit if you know the city and kind of know what you're getting into? Or
yeah, I know I can get in any city. I know I can get away with some what's the word I'm looking for? Religiously charged material, I guess. Not necessarily anti-religion, but just kind of like poking fun at it. I don't feel like I can get away with that at like more rural locations, which stinks because I have so much material on it. Again, not making fun of it, just not like being like you're an idiot for believing in something. It's just like, hey, isn't it weird that this is in the Bible? Just like stuff like that.
Yeah, observation stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, some of the be careful here we get down to the Bible Belt if you haven't been down there yet.
Yeah.
They take that shit seriously. That goes from a guy who spent 10 years down in South Carolina. And I'm like, wow, you guys are borderline culty.
Yeah, I think in the South I'll stick to the cities. I feel like I can get away with stuff a little more there.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. With your comedy, speaking of your style and your jokes, how you're at that 5-year mark. You're like you said, do I want to keep doing this? Are you starting to find your niche? Are you more of a joke teller or a storyteller or?
Yeah, I'm a 100% like a setup punchline guy. I'm just very rapid fire joke. Like, anytime I look at like, I've been going through old jokes and like breaking down my structure on them to see like what's set up and what's punchline and like highlighting the differences. And it's mostly punchline at this point, which is, I like that stuff. I like to just be quick. And don't get me wrong, I love storyteller comedians.
Mhm.
I think Mike Birbiglia is one of the best comedians working right now. But it's not for me. Anytime, and if I do tell a story on stage, it's punched up with so many jokes you wouldn't even know it's a story at this point.
Yeah.
It's a topic essentially I'm talking about now.
Well, and it's I think it's an art to be a storyteller, especially in today's age where
Yeah.
people are so used to the TikToks and the reels and the shorts and stuff like that. You got to get their attention and you only got their attention for 30 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a minute at most. And like you said, with the stories, I feel like I have to sneeze, but of course it's not going to do anything other than just annoy me. Sorry. You punch it up and just kind of shiny object.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not like a one-liner guy. Like I stay on topic.
Mhm.
I'm not just, being like, hey, snowman's to like pillow forts, it's just like, I'm talking about like growing up poor or, being in the military. And it's just, I'm talking about that experience, but just with a bunch of jokes.
Oh yeah. What branch of the military were you in, and how long were you?
I was in the Army.
Okay. How long were you in the Army?
6 years.
Oh, you definitely got jokes and stories.
Yeah, but the thing is, man, is they don't go over well with non-veterans. I have a couple bits that I've figured out works, but unless I'm doing like a veteran show, I had the chunks that I have on it. I don't really get to do too often.
The little snippet I seen of excuse me. This is like just you ever get a sneeze and it's just like hanging out right there.
Yeah, go look up on the light so you can get it out.
Yeah, well, okay, we'll try that. I've never heard that before. There we go. The one little snippet that had me cracking up that I seen was you just posted it the other day on Instagram was about your mom.
Yeah.
And I work in a retirement facility, and I see these interactions with family that they're like, they're a little bit close, but they're like, we're gonna dump you off here, and whatever happens. But that just made me chuckle, and I think I've watched it like 7 or 8 times, and every time laughed at it.
Yeah, that's a new joke. But probably within the last couple months that I've started doing at shows. And it's been going great. I like it's working better. It was much longer before. That's the final product. Before it was talking about like how my mom, like, because she never told me she loved me until I was going overseas to fight in Iraq. Does that mean that she only loves like true patriots?
Yeah.
Like she'll only be with a man who jizzes red, white, and blue. I can only do one of those colors. But those never really worked out. So it just ends with she never said I loved you.
I think the family dynamic is always good. A little dysfunctional family goes a long way for a comedian.
Oh yeah, it's what breeds us.
Yeah. No, it was something that I already knew, and that I'm starting to learn more and more. You guys are all mentally unstable. The more comedians I get to hang out with, but you mask it very well to fit in with society.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's funny because like I'll meet like open micers and stuff like that, and some of them seem very well adjusted. Some of them seem heavily autistic, like to a point where I'm like, I don't know how you're functioning in society or the world in general. Mm-hmm. And people always just have like dark histories and pasts. Yeah. And the amount of people, like when you just like, I'll hang out with someone and like outside of comedy, and they'll tell me some crazy thing about their lives. And I'm always just like, why are you not talking about this? You know how funny you have 2 lesbian moms and you're Native American? That's crazy, dude. Talk about that. Like,
Get up on stage and talk about
yeah.
that. Tell us all the story. So you brought up the open mics. Do you do a lot of open mics, or what's your opinions on those, or your feelings?
So I mean, when you're starting out, obviously you got to hit the open mics. You know, you got to get your reps in. I don't do them so much anymore. I do a lot of I test a lot of stuff on like road shows. If I'm doing like a bar show in the middle of nowhere or something, I'll try some new stuff out. But like in the summer though, because I mean, you live in Ohio, it's Midwest.
Yeah.
Things start to slow down, and so I'm not booked very much. Usually, mostly intentionally. I need a break every now and then. So instead, I'll go to open mics and like hit those up at least once a week. And because then I don't feel rusty when I come back into it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, being you're in the Midwest as well. Being summertime is a nice little. A lot of people are doing stuff. Are they? Do you know? Is there a huge decline in the clubs and stuff like that, or are people still coming out to shows the same as they would like in the fall and winter time when it starts to get cooler?
I mean, for the comedy clubs, at least, if you get a big headliner, 100%, those people are going to come out regardless. But like for like independent shows, not so much. Like I book the Don't Tells in Appleton and Green Bay, and we don't even run them in the summer because we know they're not going to sell. They're not going to sell as well as we would like them to make it worthwhile. So I mean, most comedians in the Midwest tend to go on a forced hiatus, which I think it's good for you. You go right because you get to live life a little bit. I haven't lived life in 5 years. It's crazy, like,
What is life?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure that out. Like between my real job and podcasting, that's about odd. I make a little bit of time here and there to try to do things and experience stuff. But yeah, I get it, man. I don't know. That's something I've always, because it seems like, and just speaking here in our area, like we have a Funny Bone not too far from me, but it seems like now that you brought it up and I'm kind of thinking about it, a lot of the bigger names roll through like fall, winter time, as opposed to the summer months.
Yeah.
Summer months are a lot of smaller shows, a lot of I can't think of the name. Kind of like a weekend event where they have multiple smaller names come in throughout the weekend. I can't think of what I was going to call it.
Like a showcase?
What's that?
Like a showcase?
Yeah, showcase. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of, for a smaller name, up and coming comedians and stuff like that. But it's the complete opposite effect, for my other show, because right now I struggle booking music guests because now it's the hot time of year.
Yeah, they're all playing, man. They got all the outside stuff.
Yeah.
100%.
And I think you brought it up, and I seen it when you messaged me. The Don't Tells. What is that? I've never heard of that before. Maybe
you ever heard of Don't Tell Comedy?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's huge. So Don't Tell became, I think they just started like, I don't remember. I just got an email. We're supposed to be celebrating some anniversary. I think they started during the pandemic, but the whole idea was it's you go like you don't know where the place is where the comedy show is until the day of the show. You'll get an email that day, and you don't know who the comics are until they literally set foot on stage.
Oh wow!
And they film specials, so like a lot of comedians, like that was their big break, was a Don't Tell special. Like Catherine Blanford blew up from her Don't Tell special. There's some other ones too. I can't. Like, did you watch the Funny AF thing on Netflix with Kevin Hart?
Oh yeah. I did see that.
So like all of those comedians have Don't Tell specials.
Okay.
Like it's like a 15-minute thing but their network's insane. Like we're talking millions upon millions of views on these little specials. And so this company, they have producers in pretty much every major city in the United States, some overseas too now, I think. and they set up these don't tell shows in just random places like game stores. We've done like a pet sanctuary before, barbershops, tattoo parlors, just little tiny pop-up shows. They sell out like gangbusters. It's crazy. And it's BYOB. You can bring your own booze.
Yeah, even better.
And we're always just booking the best comics that we can because the budget's pretty decent.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I would imagine. I mean, if it, like I said, it's so. I mean, it's basically like a speakeasy for comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of blew up back during Prohibition. You had to know exactly and know the right password and know the right person and everything else. So
I think that's why it went over so well during the pandemic, because like all the clubs were closed. No one was able to really do comedy like they wanted to. So now we can just go to a barber shop and call it a private party and no one can say anything.
Mm-hmm. That's I'm going to have to. I'll have to look into that and see if we have any of those around here. That'd be really cool, especially.
What city do you live in?
I'm close to Columbus. I'm
there's a Columbus. Don't tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's something I can Google on the old the interwebs.
Oh, absolutely. If you go on don'ttellcomedy.com, put in Columbus, it'll show you all the shows that are coming up.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to check that out.
And I know the Columbus one specifically is pretty good. Like they do really well. I think they have a show every week.
You said don'ttellcomedy.com?
Yep.
I'm going to write that down so I don't forget it. I'm going to check that out because that'd be really cool. I mean, I think just being able to go to, a random location, a random spot, and not knowing, like you said, a lot of people blew up from that, not knowing what you're going to see or what you're going to get.
Yeah, you won't know. And then also, like, what a great way for you to network and meet some comedians maybe you don't know that might want to go on your show,
Yeah. And I'm all about that. I do that for my music show. My girlfriend and I were just talking about that because there's a band that I've been trying to get on, and they're actually playing right down the road. I think this week.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we should go, and I should just introduce myself in person.
Do it.
So, no, I'm gonna definitely check that out because I love going to see live stand up, and any opportunity I get, like I said, is really the only known club around here. Outside of some of the local places in our town, they'll do comedy nights, but they'll be like, "Oh, we're going to do comedy night on Saturday night," and you show up, and it's one guy who does 5 minutes, and then he just, got ready to go out, and it's like, oh,
yeah. You guys have a Funny Bone, don't you?
Yeah, we got a Funny Bone.
Okay, I thought so.
Yep, here in Columbus, so which is a good spot. I mean, they do
That's a great club.
They do a lot of they do a couple open mic nights a couple times a month. I can't remember how often it is.
Every comedy club in every city should do an open mic every week, I think, because you should make it grow, because those comics that are coming to that open mic, once they start doing well and you start giving them spots and they start getting bigger, guess what club they're going to love to do? That's the way I've always seen it. So whenever I see like a comedy club not do it, or they'll like book a show during an open mic, I'm just like, what are you doing? You got to foster your scene.
Yeah. How's your guys' scene out where you are out in your neck of the woods? You guys got a pretty good scene out there?
No.
So you got to do some traveling.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's just I don't know. There's probably club level comics. There's probably like 6 or 7 of us who are consistently working all the time, which is pretty small for a scene. But I just went to the open mic recently and I was like, all right, there's some like new faces that I was pleasantly surprised with, which that's also one of the nice things about taking a break and coming back and being like, wait, who's this guy? All right, this is cool. This is fun. This is new perspective I haven't thought of. But otherwise, yeah, it's not the best. But we don't have the same opportunities bigger places have, so it's harder to build that. And I don't know. I should put more effort in myself.
You should
to help.
Harder.
To help, I should help.
Get together, Trevor. Come on, work harder, buddy. Yeah, no, I got a friend of mine that just started doing comedy not too long ago down in Tampa, and shout out to Tampa because Tampa's killing it, man, in the comedy world.
I've heard, actually.
And you know, he started out doing it, and he still goes to open mics and stuff like that. But man, he's everywhere. He's Tampa. He's you know, Cape Coral, a bunch of other, like, he's everywhere because there's so many opportunities in Tampa because it's becoming this new comedy hub. You know, we always had New York and like LA and whatnot. Now Tampa's kind of jumping into the mix. But there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of clubs that are jumping on it. And at the, you know, with, in my opinion, being a fan and the way comedy's going, I'm surprised a lot of cities aren't jumping on that and taking that opportunity and going, yeah, we have music here. Oh, excuse me. There's a venue down the road that I've talked to. They always bring music in, and I've talked to them about bringing comedians in. And they're like, well, we don't know, you know, if it'll. I'm like, just do one comedy show and bring some comedians in, and you'll see.
Here's the thing. This is where I'm going to side with that music venue a little bit. Because when I first started comedy, like when I started like doing shows and stuff, stage time is so rare in the smaller cities. If you want stage time, you kind of have to make it yourself. So I started my own like showcase at a local bar. And I remember when I was like negotiating with the owner to figure out like pay and all that stuff. And, you know, I was just like, this much money for 90 minutes of comedy. And she's like, I usually pay that amount of money for 3 hours of music. A 3-hour comedy show is nuts. And it's not worth the comedian's time. No one's going to make any money off that. So I was able to like talk her into it, you know, because, you know, for that, I was like, for that 90 minutes, this place is going to be sold out. And it was packed. It was standing room only. It was crazy. But that's where I think a lot of venues have trouble with it because, you know, you book a night of bands. That's a full night of bands rather than a 90-minute show.
Yeah.
And so, like, if your venue is relying mostly on drink sales, that kind of hurts it.
I mean, yeah, I think I can see that. I can definitely see that side of it. But if you were to do, and I don't know, this is kind of, you know, talking to the owners was like, you know, if you, like you said, a showcase, you can get a couple hours worth of, plus we're in one of those rare cities that it's not a big city, but they support the hell out of our local artists, whether you're musicians or comedians. So it's like, I think it's hit or miss, I guess, depending upon the city. Maybe it should be the comedy close by.
Yeah. Well, the problem I see is with like after, I mean, even 90 minutes is pushing it these days with people's attention spans. People get pretty squirrely after 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I remember the first time doing, like, we did like a 2-hour show, and right about 30 minutes before we were wrapping up, people started getting squirrely, started heckling. It just kind of became just pure chaos. And I'm finding with like the attentions. What's that?
Them drinks started setting in.
I mean, that's usually good. That's what I want. But you can't be too drunk. That's a problem. You know, I saw a lady charge a comic and try to like kill her on stage once because she was too drunk. You know, like it's crazy. That comic will not ever do Appleton again.
Oh, Jesus. Congratulations, Appleton.
She talks about it a lot on her podcast.
Wow. So that brings up another hecklers. I'm assuming you've had to come across a couple, but how do you
nowadays it's about, what's the word I'm looking for? Being politely telling them to fuck off. You know, like, because it used to be like there was times when I was just like, you need to shut up. You know, you need to shut the fuck up, or I will strangle you with this mic cord. But now it's just turned into like, I'll usually be like if someone's really heckling, I'll be like, hey, are you okay? Like, is everything all right? Like, is there something you need to say right now? Let's talk about it. This is your moment to say whatever you need. And then, you know, usually it just ends up that they're way too drunk, and then I'm like, all right. And then I usually have a code, which is like, someone get this guy a coffee, and that usually means get them the fuck out of here.
Stick them in an Uber. Send them home.
But otherwise, it's just being like, "What's up? Are you okay? Like, is there anything? Like, what's going on with you, man?" Like, that's usually my approach nowadays.
That's a quick way to don't put me on the spotlight.
Yeah. Usually, like, ugh. I mean, but then, like, God, some people are just lunatics. Like, I remember not even that long ago, I was doing this show, and the headliner, he was up there, and he's doing his thing, and someone in the audience goes, "That wasn't funny." Like after he said a joke, and he was like, "Excuse me," and he played into it really well, where he's just like, "Oh, that was a really mean thing to say," whatever. And he moves on to his next joke, and then like he says the joke, and he like looks at her, and she goes, "That was funny," and he's like, "Ah, there it is." And like, that's fun. But in that same show, some old man came up and took the microphone from him and started singing, doing his Elvis Presley impersonation. I don't understand the insanity in people. I think we learned later that he was like an Alzheimer's patient that was let out of the hospital for a day for like I don't know. Like,
literally let a crazy ass old man onto a comedy show, just like
whatever, man.
We'll
as long as you paid your $20, I'm happy.
Yeah, we'll bring you back to the to the old folks home after the show, after everybody sees your Elvis. I think, and I don't know if this is a thing or if it's played out more and it's more on social media, and you being in the spotlight on this one. People with like the Matt Rifes and Michael Blausteins and different other comedians who do all the crowd work, it seems like everybody wants to be involved in a comedy show.
Yeah, anymore. It's hurt it.
Do you run into that a lot, or is it more just had too much to drink and doesn't know when to shut up?
I usually deal with what I like to call polite hecklers. It's where they're not necessarily like interrupting the show to like be mean. They're not trying to really add anything to it. They're just trying to be like, "You're doing really good." Like they're like, "That was really funny." And it's just like, "Shut up, you're distracting me." There's a rhythm to this.
Trying to be supportive down here. Don't be a dick.
But I definitely have seen people like try to, especially for like people who are crowd work comedians almost like exclusively. Like, who was it? I wasn't here for this. This is a secondhand story, but I guess Preacher Lawson was playing our club, and some lady in the audience kept saying something, and he was just like, he was kind of ignoring her. He was doing crowd work with someone else. And then finally she just screamed at the top of her lungs, "I want to suck your dick." And he was just like, "Okay." Like, I don't know if you know who Preacher Lawson is, but he's like very clean.
Yeah. I've come across him on social media. I mean, I've seen him and whatnot. So,
but yeah, so like, yeah, people that the whole like clip culture has really ruined that side of stand-up, where people now think that that's what a comedy show is, and I don't want that to be what a comedy show is. Like, it's hard enough.
Yeah, I think, and I've said this before, I think much like the storytelling or the joke, there's an art to what you guys do. And some guys, fantastic with the crowd work.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Their actual stand-up, not really all that good. But their crowd work is amazing. If that's your thing, do it. But if you're going to go out to comedy, you have to understand, like, not every comedian is going to be that guy. Not every comedian wants to talk to 20 people in the front row.
Mm-hmm.
You guys spend a lot of time working on your craft and working on your jokes and stuff like that. I love going, and the last thing I want to do is be the center of attention in the audience. But I also like to sit up front. I like to, to be up there. And I try my hardest. I'm like, don't laugh too loud. Don't.
Oh no, laugh as loud as you possibly can. Please do that. Don't. Yeah. Don't censor yourself.
Yeah, it's happened a few times, but it's like, we were at a show and the comedian, she was making fun of people in Ohio, and she said something, and I didn't think I said it very loud, But apparently I said it loud enough. I was like, hell yeah, because I was agreeing with her. So the
Yeah.
rest of the night, every time she said something, she would look to me because
Yeah.
I wanted the hell yeah. And I was like, okay, great. Now
Hey,
I'm
part of the bit now.
yeah. Now I'm
There's a lot of comedians out there who do crowd work well, where but then there's a lot of comedians who are trying to do crowd work, and it's like there's like, how is it always explained to me? I've always looked at crowd work as like there's the organic, something crazy happens in the audience and you riff off of it and you play with that person. That's like essentially yes and improv, right? Then there's the fishing crowd work, which is like, what do you do for a living? Is that your wife? How long have you been married? You know, and that's you're digging, you're trying to find something, which that's fine. It seems, I don't know, as an audience member, I don't like that because like that's time that you could be telling jokes and you're kind of losing momentum on everything. But then there's the the magic trick crowd work. It's where you have a phrase or a line that you say that no matter what, you know what the responses you're going to get, and then you make it seem like you're doing crowd work. Can't stand that shit. That shit pisses me off.
Does the crowd work like that, like you said, the magic trick or the fishing? If you're in a show, like a showcase or something, if somebody comes up and does that kind of derail the rest of the show, especially like if they're like in the middle of the pack and then
if they're good at it, no. I feel like if I'm on a showcase and I'm planning on doing crowd work, I feel like anyone after me I would talk to first, just to be like, hey, I am doing this. Because like one of the golden rules I've always followed is if I'm not the headliner, definitely if I'm the host, I'm not going to do crowd work. Just because like you want to leave meat on the bone for the headliner, especially if that's their thing. Because the last thing you want as a headliner is to go out there and be like, I can't even talk to you anymore because that last guy just talked to you about everything and you were the most interesting person here and now I have nothing. That's no good. So in those instances, no. But I mean, if you know that someone after you is not a crowd work guy, I don't think there's any reason you couldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't know if that would kind of derail it, or if you come out and they've done crowd work and now the crowd's like, oh, we're a part of the show, and you're coming out.
Okay, actually, no, I see what you're saying. No, you're right. I have experienced that. I did a show. I didn't know this at the time, but it was after a big wine walk happened downtown in this like city I was in. And so like everyone who was there was day drinking and they were like sloshed, but also like that like line of tired when you're day drinking, you know?
Oh yeah.
So this guy went on before me and he just did this crazy crowd work, like just insano, like, cause it was a very like white city and he was like a black guy and he does this thing called Ask a Black Guy. And so he's like, you can say whatever you want. No holds barred. I will answer it. And so people were asking him the wildest shit and they're getting worked up crazy, right? So then I get up there and I'm just like, hey, you guys ever see how weird moms are? They don't want that. They're falling asleep during my set. That sucked. I didn't like that. But that's poor booking on the producer's part. I even remember telling him, hey, man, that guy should have that guy should have headlined. Yeah. Like I do not have a big enough ego where I will not be like, yo, that guy should have headlined.
No, exactly. That's that kind of you wind the crowd. The crowd's starting to wind down. Let's now bring out the, you've seen the song and dance. Now here's the fireworks. And no, that's something I've always, like as again as a fan, I couldn't imagine being a comedian who has to follow somebody who just did 5 minutes of crowd work and the crowd's all amped up and and then they're like, hey, we're a part of the show, and then you come up and you get.
I don't want to follow someone who's done 5 minutes of local references.
Yeah.
Shoot me in the brain, dude. Like I'm not from here. I don't know what that like you call the people from the Valley troglodyte. I don't understand your references. They're killing. You're just like, cool. I'm not going to kill like that.
Yeah. it's a little different when you step out of your hometown or your home.
Yeah.
When you have home field advantage, especially if especially if you have a couple jokes just from like, excuse me, stereotypes. Like I said, the last show I was at, the lady was not from Ohio. She was just feeding onto the stereotypes, and they were just. You're right. Welcome to the Nonsensical Network, where anything can and will happen. But have you ever had that instance where, I mean, outside of like, somebody absolutely killing it with crowd work or just in general, where you're like, fuck, I don't want to go on after this guy, or because they were so good?
No, I don't think I've ever experienced that. Usually if someone's really good, I want to go on after them because they've essentially created this momentum that I get to now just ride. Like that's why, like, your host should be like your weakest, your feature should be your second, that's why the features almost have, because then you just got the hill going up, you never want this, and you definitely don't want this,
Yeah.
The only time I don't like to go on after someone is if they really shit the bed. That is not fun, because then now I have to do so much extra work to dig out from that hole that they created, and it's exhausting. And it's like sometimes I just want to go up and do my 20 minutes and just have fun, and then to like spend 10 of that fixing whatever just happened before me it's the worst.
Trying to fix your fuck ups.
Yeah.
In your circle or your community of comedians, are you guys kind of a close knit, where you support each other and kind of push each other to be better and do better, or have you experienced any gatekeeping?
I think a lot of people in my scene would call me a gatekeeper.
Oh,
yeah, I'm very particular when it comes to the Don't Tell comedy bookings.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even friends. I've booked some people I don't like. It's just funny is funny, and I will book you if you're funny. That is my rule. Even if I don't think you're funny, but I've seen you kill, I will book you because I know that, because you might be funny to me, but you're funny to them, and that's all that I care about is selling tickets.
Yeah.
I wish our scene was more, as me and my girlfriend call it, kumbaya. Because there's like other scenes that like I'll go into for a little bit, because I'm there for a weekend or something, hang out there, and I'll be like, man, you guys are just so friendly. It's so nice. But then I think about it, our scene is so much smaller. So like the comics who are at the same like level that I'm at, I am tight with them.
Yeah.
But it's and above me too. But like the stuff, like the open micers, I'm not very tight with them. Some of them, I fuck with some of them, but it's just, again, I only have so much energy to give people, and I can't stand bad comedy. I can't stand, I have no patience is what it comes down to. Before doing comedy, I was a musician. I was on the road touring, all this stuff. I've been an entertainer since forever.
Oh, wow.
I have no time for bullshit anymore. Like I just don't.
You're the grumpy old guy in the room.
Yeah,
we have that in common. I'm the grumpy old guy now.
Be good, and I will probably remember you and talk to you.
Yeah, no, I could definitely relate to that. I work with some guys that are younger than me, and I'm in the construction world. So I mean, I've been doing it since I was like 15, 16 years old. And now I've become the grumpy old guy that I used to want to hit in the face with a brick. Only I'm not as mean as those guys because, different generation. But the guys tease me all the time because I have no patience. I'm going to show you. I'm going to teach you how to do something or show you how to do something. But if you don't want to listen or if you think you know everything, then I'm fucking done. I'm washing my hands. Go fuck up. I'm not fixing it.
Were you in the military?
No.
That's my therapist says that's a very military trait. That's where that comes from with me. because not being good at your job, it could cost lives. So,
Well,
in construction too, probably, honestly.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not as serious as the military, obviously, but you can absolutely cost lives or other other issues. But I don't know. I've just been doing it for over 30 years at this point. So
yeah,
I'm just, maybe that's what it is. You do something for so long, whether it's the military or like you being an entertainer. Even
yeah,
doing
but
the
I'm a baby in comedy. I shouldn't take it so seriously. That's the way I see it. 5 years is shit. I'm turning a new leaf. I was just talking to a peer of mine who, when I started doing comedy, she was very, very good to me. Kristen Lighty. She was very good to me. She was nice to me when I was bad. And that helped a lot because, not everyone was, and I should be more like her than the people who were mean to me. So
yeah. Well, that's what I try to be. I over the last few years, I've tried to come to an understanding in my own head. Look, yes, they might be fucking stupid, but I also got to give them a little bit of slack because they might not know how to do it. They're still stupid, but they don't know how to do it. So I got to try to teach them.
yeah. No, that's the perspective I'm trying to take on because I can't. The first piece of advice that Kristen gave me was make friends.
Yeah.
I haven't really been doing that. I gotta be better at that. I make friends in other scenes, like when I'm doing shows with people. If I'm at a comedy festival, I'm making friends. I love that part of it, but
that's good because that's going to help you expand your name and expand your brand outside of Appleton, Appleton. Which at the end of the day, that's the name of the game. You want to get outside. You want to do Vegas, New York, California, Florida, wherever you want to go to these big cities, and that's part of the name of the game, man. You got to make friends.
Yeah, give me your friends' information in Tampa. Flights to Tampa are cheap. Let me stay with them.
I can actually. I'll shoot you his info, man. I'll send you.
It's like $75 for a round trip from Appleton to Tampa. I've been looking into doing Florida because I was like, man, if I could just crash on someone's couch for a week, I could make some connections out there.
Yeah, I'll shoot you his information when we get done tonight, and you guys can link up. I've actually sent him a couple people, and I believe they've linked up from a couple.
Oh yeah.
Comedians I've had on here because I'm all about. I want to see, I want to see you guys blow up. That's the great thing about doing this show is I get to meet you guys. I get to know you guys a little bit. If a friendship develops, but also at the end of the day, I get to watch your journey and watch you guys grow and continue to expand and get better and everything like that. And just be like, hey, I remember when Trevor was on my show. Now he's got a Netflix. Yeah. Now some bitch won't return the message.
I don't know about that. I don't think I'll ever. I say to my girlfriend a lot. I'm like, I don't think I'll ever I'm never gonna make it. I don't plan to ever make it. And the second it stops being fun is when I stop doing it. But it's still fun. So
I think that's a hell of a mindset to have, and it's kind of the same mindset I have with doing that because I've only been quote unquote podcasting for about 5 years. Doing live streams and stuff like that on the internet, I've been doing that for over 10 years now.
Oh, damn.
The problem is unfortunately, you have a very, for me, and I've noticed this with some other people and some people that I've talked to, you have a very big audience on one platform, and then you go to another platform, and essentially none of those people come. You might get a couple handful of them, and then you got to regrow. And
yeah.
And that's kind of where we are. But that, I've told people that too. Like, I hope this blows up, and I can quit my job and I can just do this all the time. But if not, I'm only going to do it until it's not fun anymore. The moment it becomes not fun, I'm done.
Yeah, yeah, because your own mental health is so much more important than doing anything else. Yeah, we see that on here.
What were you referring to, Wally? But yeah, I mean, and I've killed shows that I've created just because they didn't get. I don't know. They just sounded fun at the idea. I also have ADHD, so it's like
I hear that, man. I had a podcast for a little bit. It was actually doing really well, and I stopped doing it because I started doing stand up. I wanted to focus on doing that because it was more fun. Yeah. Editing, doing the live stream, it has to be pretty nice, but because we were just like recording audio and putting it out every week. The editing process, just God, hate that. I hate it so much. And that's the part. And nowadays, I do think maybe if I wanted to do it again, it wouldn't be so bad just because with like AI editing tools, it might make it a lot easier. But then, God, dude, just hand editing everything was the worst.
Oh, and when I decided I was finally gonna, because I talked about it forever, doing a podcast, doing a show, doing this, doing that. I'm like, oh yeah, I just turn my camera on and it'll be easy. I had no idea how to edit audio. I had no idea how to like splice and cut, and I had to learn all that crap. And
yeah, the amount of YouTube videos I had to read on Audacity.
Yeah. We do the live shows. There's no editing.
No, that's like the live stream stuff's got to be nice for that.
And then and then I post. I'll take this audio 100% real, uncut, unedited, and it goes onto the podcasting platforms. A lot of that probably has to do with the fact that I'm incredibly lazy. And I already do enough, and I'm already so goddamn busy as it is. Most days I don't know if I'm coming or going.
When you're doing this show, how many people do you find that like have high-end audio and video for you?
In all honesty, man, and this is the crazy thing because I interview a lot of musicians. It's only been a handful of people that have come in with, you can see the high-end mics, they got the fancy cameras, they've got a soundboard, they've got, most of the musicians that I interview, they're literally on their phones.
Yeah, that's funny.
I'm like, what are you doing, bro? I know you got a whole ass fucking studio behind you.
Yeah, because I'm using my very nice camera. I have a Yeti Blue. It sounds like shit. I hate these. I need to get a new one. My audio's not great, but my video it looks pretty good, I think.
I have a really nice microphone. I don't use it. The camera.
You sound great. That's surprising.
Yeah, the camera that I have, I got at Walmart. It's like a Walmart brand camera, just because my camera went to shit on my laptop, and I needed an external camera. And I was like, shit, I'm in a bind. Let me run and just grab the cheapest thing. It was like right before a freaking show too, so I just grabbed this, and the mic on it sounds great. The camera's on it's good. I mean, it gives me 1080, and I'm like, cool. And I got a laptop here that's about to be dead at any moment. So. Oh. What up, Fidel? How you doing, man?
I gotta get a new laptop. That's a good call. Mine's getting there.
Yeah, so I mean, I you don't have to have high. I tell people this all the time. They're like, I want to do a podcast, but I'm gonna go buy a $1,500 microphone and a $10,000 laptop and a $5,000 camera. I'm like, why? Why are you doing all that? You're not making any money. Now,
my camera is very expensive. Don't get me wrong, but I use it to record sets, so it's got to be.
Now, and you're making money doing comedy. I'm not making any money doing this right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, if one day I'm making money and I can build, I would love to have a really nice podcast studio with camera and mics and stuff like that, and be able to.
Yeah, I was able to write that camera off this year. It was awesome.
Yeah. Bring guests into my studio if they're local. Right now, if I brought a guest in, my girlfriend would probably be like, why do you have a weird comedian in our bedroom? Or why do you have this crazy band set up?
Why is there dudes doing lines in our son's room?
Yeah, like, what is that? Drummer.
I used to
for hookers.
I used to when I was like in my early 20s, we had what kind of music are you into?
I listen to everything, to be honest with you, man. I'm all over the place. I'm kind of, I guess, country and rock are my big two ones, but I listen to everything. I love it all.
So, do you know what a punk house is?
Not right off the top of my head.
A show house?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So I came up like in like the scene, and so we had a punk house. And the amount of times I just caught bands just snorting lines of whatever in the fucking bathroom or in my bedroom, just crazy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. I had a buddy of mine that he went to college, but he just rented a house down on campus and constantly had live bands there.
It's actually pretty dope. I mean, it can get exhausting, but it's so much fun, dude. Like, I never had to pay for a fucking show. It was dope. Like, all the bands just played at my house.
Yeah, exactly. Hell yeah. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, no, that's yeah. I don't think my girlfriend's gonna be too excited with just bringing strangers through the house right now.
Like, we're currently in the middle of remodeling our basement, and I'm gonna have a studio down here, which I'm really excited for. But right now I'm banished because all the children are home, and they would be yelling and stuff. And so now I'm just in our really bad basement in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
So
I'm just back in our bedroom. My kids are home this week. My daughter's up in her room, and I don't even know where my son is. To be 100% honest with you, he could be out. He's probably somewhere in this house, but I don't know.
Do we need to file a missing persons report?
No, he's fine. Wherever he's at, he's fine. He's got Life 360. I can find him.
Okay, perfect.
No, yeah, but yeah, no. So, when the weeks, but I got a nice little setup right here in the corner of the bedroom.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And
See your wrestling belts and stuff.
This is her office/studio, so it works. But I've looked and I was like, man, I would love to. There's like all these empty old office spaces around town. Just like lease me a little office space and set everything up and be able to bring guests in, or if I'm doing it virtually like this, which I'll probably still do a good majority of my shows like this. It's quiet, it's peaceful. Nobody's gonna like my kids will randomly come in and be like, I've got a test tomorrow and I need these clothes, and it's like I'm right in the middle of a show.
That's like the big cool thing I hear, though, at least like the pandemic, like you don't have to schedule guests, like my podcast was usually just me and another guy, but we would have guests on every now and then, and we'd have to schedule that because they'd have to come in to where we record, blah, 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 all that stuff. When like now you can just zoom in, or use whatever this platform is we're on.
This is we use StreamYard.
StreamYard.
And that's what originally when I started doing this, it was just me and a couple of buddies. One of my friends lived in Mexico. So we had to find a platform where we could do stuff like this. And like I said, it wasn't until about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I was like, I want to start interviewing musicians. I love music. And it's been great because I got the day of the week, just like with my comedy show now that I just started doing. And shout out to you guys, everybody in the comedian or comedy world, because I came up, ADHD brain over here was like, I got an idea for 3 new shows. No thought process. Let's just run with it. I have an intro, I have a logo, and now I need guests. And I put one little post out, and I literally have guests booked through September for this particular show.
I mean, for me, I saw someone I knew on, and like all comedians, we see someone on a show, we're like, who books that? Yeah. So I was just like, I'll reach out to this guy.
Yeah, so it was like, and then I had to explain to some people, like, no, it's not. You're not coming up and doing comedy, because that was one of my initial thoughts was like, hey, maybe I can get a comedian to come on here and do a couple minutes as well as the interview. But then I was like, well, that's not going to be any good because you guys need the live reaction, and you don't want some dumbass just laughing at you, So
that's a weird vibe.
Like, hey, either I laugh or I don't. And if I don't laugh, then it just makes it awkward the rest of the show. So, but I was like, I'm already doing a music show kind of similar to this. Let's keep the same vibe for the comedians.
Everyone likes to sit and just bullshit. It's fun.
Yeah. And we get to know a little bit about you, and I like to throw out, speaking of which, absolutely throw your social media out there, Trevor, or if you've got a website so people can find you.
Oh yeah, you can just find me on Trevor Clumpner Comedy on all socials. Very easy. And then trevorclumpnercomedy.com for all my dates, ticket links, all that fun stuff.
Speaking of shows and stuff like that, you got anything coming up? Anything you're working on or anything?
Like I said, it's the summer times where I typically slow down. So I have I got some stuff in June, just like some small bar show stuff. I am doing the Fringe Festival in July. Not the Scotland Fringe. I'm not that cool. It's just a small Fringe festival in Green Bay. I'm running a show called what's my show called? Hello, my name is, and it's like a the audience members are wearing name tags that have like secrets about them or like interesting facts about them, so that the comedians on stage can just don't have to farm for it. They can just go into the interesting thing. So yeah,
that sounds good.
Yeah, I'm ripping off a show on already called Crowd Control, but yeah.
This day and age, everybody's kind of doing the same thing. Just some people do it better than others.
My girlfriend just texted me to smile and act like I'm having a good time. I look like I hate this, and it's hard to watch.
I love the angry veteran comedy. All right?
I'm not even angry. It's just my face. I can't help it. This is my face.
Yeah,
That's why everyone thinks I'm a dick. It sucks.
Well, I mean, I don't know which is worse, looking angry all the time or just looking like an idiot. I'm a big dumb animal, so usually I have a confused, dumb look on my face. So I don't know if that helps me or what. And like,
I'm constantly just observing what's going on and like trying to listen. So my face just looks angry because I'm like trying to like pay attention to what's happening around me. I'm usually having a good time. It's just I'm absorbing the information that I'm receiving. Like this is my smile. I'm smiling right now. Like this to me is a smile.
He's smiling. In actuality, this guy fucking sucks. Why did I reach out to his podcast? You know,
I think we're having a good time. Like I don't what.
Just tell her if you think you can be better, why don't you come up?
Come on.
I'll get her next. Well, gotta wait until October.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta say, this is cool for me because I've always been a huge fan of comedy, and I've a couple friends that are involved in comedy and whatnot. And when I first mentioned the show to them, they were like, "Oh my god, dude, you are going to lose your mind because comedians, they want to be seen, they want to be heard, they need attention." Now you just look like a crazy man.
This is so fun. Yeah, no, it's cool. No, this is a cool idea. This is I'll go on anything. This is awesome. I'm really glad to be here.
So after that face you're just making now, I'm concerned that you have bodies in that basement. I thought you looked familiar. We watch a lot of murder shows in this house. Wait a minute. That's why the Appleton Slayer is on my show.
Yeah.
That's why I knew that name. No, when you write your comedy and stuff, does that come easy to you, or is that something that you kind of have to work hard at? Naturally, I guess is the words I'm trying to say.
I mean, so like I grew up loving stand-up comedy. Like I remember watching it all the time as a kid. But I never like saw it as something that like normal people did. You know, it's just like that person's a comedian. That's what they do. But I was actually thinking about it today because I was listening to Michael Jackson and I was like, man, I remember when me and my buddy Corey like had this girl come over to his house and we're like, yeah, come in the room. And like we put on Michael Jackson and we like went into his closet and we had like a full like Michael Jackson get up and we like danced to Billie Jean. And like, just as a bit, you know, because we thought that was funny. And I was like, yeah, I was always doing like weird like things like that, but I never like thought about like doing it like as a comedy, you know, as like a business, I guess. And then I had a friend in the music scene who was like, yo, dude, like I'm doing comedy now. And I was like, what do you mean you're doing comedy? And he's like, yeah, I just went to an open mic. And I was like, oh shit, you can just do that. I never even like put that together. Because when I started doing music, I never really did open mics. I just was playing music. Yeah. And then so then when I started like writing and stuff, like I thought I was good. No,
not so much.
I was looking at my first set the other day and There's like a couple jokes in there that they're not the same, but the premise is still there that
Mhm.
I still do to this day. I've changed it so it's better now.
Oh yeah.
But most of it was just like, wow, disgusting, really gross stuff. So no, it did not come naturally. I've actually been getting these compliments from people that I first was doing comedy with. One of them was like, when I first met you, I thought this guy doesn't have it. He'll never have it. It's going to take him 10 years to get any type of good. And then I worked with him like a couple months later, and he's like, whoa, dude, you like figured it out. And then I recently did a club where the owner was like, when I first saw you, I thought you were the worst comedian I've ever met. And now I think you are. And now I think you are better than how long you've been doing it. And I was like, well, that's a really nice thing to say,
It's kind of a nice compliment, I guess.
Yeah, it was like a nag, but whatever.
God,
but
5 years ago.
Yeah, I used to hate you.
Slightly above mediocre nowadays, but,
but it's fine. But and so that's where it's like, oh, it doesn't come natural. Like now, I feel like I'm at a better place now to understand, joke structure and writing. So that comes a little naturally. Like, so if I write something and I take it to stage, for the most part, it should be there. There's some tweaks that probably have to be made. But yeah, it's natural now, but I wouldn't say it comes natural. Even being on stage, even being in music first, I still get so nervous before I have to go on stage every single time. It's insane. And then the second I get on stage, I'm just like, oh, whatever. I don't care anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, what were you doing music wise? Were you a singer? Did you instrument?
I was a singer and I played the ukulele.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm curious. What kind of music did you play?
It was a folk punk band.
All right, you definitely piqued my curiosity there.
Yeah, it was different. You can find us. It's That No Talent Asshole was the name of the band.
Nice.
Yeah, so but like the difference between music and comedy is like when you're with like a band, you're sharing the embarrassment with each other, I guess. You don't feel like you're up there as a team.
Yeah.
And then you can also hide behind your instruments or whatever. But when it comes to like comedy, like it's just you. And it's not even like your music, even because music can be like a raw form of yourself. But I'm literally just talking and telling you about myself, looking for a reaction,
Yeah. It is a much different world. And it's, doing the music show for, about 2 years or so now. I've had guests on that, just coming on the podcast, they were nervous. But the moment they picked up, I had one kid, just green as could be. And he was nervous. We were about 10 minutes in. And it was one of those, like, I know he's got talent. I know, like, talking to him, he's cool. But it was like pulling teeth. And he was fidgeting with his guitar and stuff. And I was like, would it make you feel better if you played a song?
Yeah.
And he's like, can I? Really? And I was like, yeah. Picked up his guitar, played a fucking song, did one of his originals. And then it was like a totally different show because he had that security blanket. He got nerves out. But yeah, to go up there on stage by yourself and try to tell jokes and hopefully the crowd likes you. You're kind of going out there naked from coming from the music world.
It's my first joke is always my barometer. Like the second if my first joke hits, then the rest of the set is just I know it's going to be smooth sailing. Yeah. But if it doesn't hit, then I'm like I'm in for a long journey.
It's going to be a long night
because that first joke is pretty much what you're getting, guys. So
this is the tempo.
Yeah.
You can buckle in. How long are your sets that you normally do?
It depends. I'm starting to creep into headlining world. Not at like clubs or anything, but like I've done like a couple of headlining spots that were like 40-45 minutes. I sit comfortably at that feature pocket, 20-minute sets. I do love hosting still. I love to host. 10 minutes and like my 10 minutes is so tight and I can just get out of there. It's great. I love it. But I like to feature because the money's better.
Yeah. Always, amen. It's about the money.
Yeah.
Bullshit walks and money talks. At the end of the day.
I mean, I do a weekend at a club, and you're doing 5 shows. If you're the host, you're only making $250.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of clubs don't let you sell merch. If I'm doing feature weekend for 5 shows, I'm walking out with $500 and I get to sell merch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely, I mean, that $250 barely covers your hotel for a weekend.
It doesn't actually. Usually, and also a lot of clubs.
Depending upon where you stay at. I mean,
yeah, I've been lucky to find some like pretty decent Airbnbs in like Indiana and stuff. But if you're featuring, a lot of clubs will like pay for your hotel. Like they take a little off your pay, but it's still worth it,
Yeah. Yeah, because there ain't nothing cheap about hotels anymore.
No. I mean, I don't know. I think something's weird right now because I stayed at like a pretty nice hotel for a comedy festival I was at a couple weeks ago, and it was like only $50 a night, and it was like it was actually a decent like I thought I was gonna get like a really bad hotel. Yeah. But then I got there and I was like, well, they got a pool, they got a hot tub, my room's pretty clean. There's cool stuff nearby. Like this is actually pretty legit, and they're just like, oh, we just had like a crazy flood. Like no one's in town. And I was like, okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense. We're trying to recoup some money. That's just doing anything you possibly can. It's wild to me. I used to live in a tourist city. I used to live down in South Carolina in Charleston, and you hear the like tourist season hits, all the hotels double their prices. Restaurants prices increase and stuff like that. I never really believed it. Maybe I'm just an idiot. But living there for close to a decade, it was like, oh shit, yeah. During tourist season, it's like twice as much to go out to eat than during just the off season. You get into
when you go to Hawaii, you got to go more inland because you get the local prices. Then like it's
a little bit cheaper, a little bit more affordable at the end of the day. With your girlfriend doing comedy, and apparently, she's watching and listening. So
yeah, she just called me an ass.
Do you guys ever bounce stuff off of each other? And I assume that she'd be a good critic to have. I couldn't think of the right words.
Yeah, so we do that one. That's an area where we're still kind of working out. Her sense of humor, I wouldn't say it's different than mine. Like we're both like appreciate like silliness. But I'll tell she doesn't like I'll be like, this is the joke, and she'll be like, that's gross, and I'll be like, you don't know anything. And I do it. And then I do it, and then I was like, yeah, that was too gross. I've been listening to her with that more lately. Just because I'm like, no, she's probably right. That is pretty gross. And which has been nice because like I've been looking at like my sets I've been doing lately, and I'm like, oh, these are actually like clean. Like I could be like I could like market myself as clean. I don't think I will. I think clean comedy is boring personally. And she'll bounce stuff off me too. But the problem with me is like I am a bad laugher. I have a really hard time laughing at stuff. I do a bit about it right now where I'm like, I've seen so much comedy through my life that like at this point I'm essentially like a porn addict. Like it takes the really weird stuff to get me going, So like if I see someone who's like doing just like the craziest, weirdest shit, that shit is so funny to me. But like when someone tells me a joke, I'm always like, I literally like, even if I think it's really funny, I'll just usually be like, yeah, that's really funny. Yeah, I have a hard time laughing at that stuff.
That's a good one, buddy. Do you look at him with your serious face too?
Yeah, I'll be like, I'll be like, that's really funny. Or I'll be like, that's good. That's good. Like.
Yeah, you almost, it's kind of like an ER nurse or a doctor, you kind of become numb to, like a normal person would freak out if somebody came in with giant gaping hole in their stomach, and an ER nurse is just like, another day at the office, and it is kind of
Well, like you. So I also used to work at the comedy club in town, so I'd just be there all weekend at the shows, and I've seen, I feel like every single joke premise at this point, and so like when I see someone do like a truly original thing I have not heard, I love that. I really enjoy that. But then I'll be at a show and I'll be like, Mark Maron does that joke, Dave Chappelle does that, I've heard it before, and that makes it hard. And this is not to say my girlfriend has very original premises. She does have an angle towards things that you don't often see from like women comics, which I appreciate personally. But it's just, I don't know. It's hard for me to give it to anyone, really. I'll just literally be like, and I also, I'm the typical guy that's trying to fix problems rather than just letting people vent,
Yeah.
So like, she'll be like, this is my joke. And I'll be like, oh, this tag would be really funny there. And she goes, not looking for tags, And it's just like, all right.
Just tell me if it's funny or not. Don't.
Yeah. So like when even like if she does, like a friend will be like, hey, I'm thinking about this joke. And I'll be like, oh, it'd be really funny if you said this. And then I see him always just being like, it's not what I was looking for. And I'm like, but it would be funnier if you said that.
Why don't you just do it if it's so much funnier your way?
Because I'm not you. It wouldn't make sense if I talked about the black experience because I'm not black.
Although that could get some head scratching.
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Some people might find it entertaining. I mean,
yeah, the wrong people.
That's okay. Laughs are laughs, all right?
Yeah. Yeah, same mentality as groans or laughs. No, they're not. No, they're not.
Early on, and I know, I mean, yeah, you've had to have eaten shit a time or two.
Oh,
there
yeah.
one of those times that just like always resonates in your head and just sticks in your head where like, man.
Oh, man. I've had a couple. There was a show I did somewhere, I can't remember where I was, somewhere in Minnesota, and a guy, God, just thinking about it, I would say a punchline, and a guy would play the cricket sound on his phone.
Oh shit!
And like that really sucked. And then he also was a problem for the headliner too. It was like
I was going to say, were you that bad, or was he just an ass?
I was not doing well. So I mean, sure, thanks, that's fun. But the thing is like I could, if he did that and the audience liked it, I would probably like have like leaned into it and been like, But they were also like, hey, that's kind of rude that you're doing that. Even we may not like him, but that's really mean, like. But what sucked about that show was we get there and it was a 2-person show. So I was opening the show doing 30 minutes and then the headliner was doing an hour. And so we get there and this guy comes up to me and he's just like a real buttoned up guy. He's like the chief of the fire department, I guess. And he's like, hey, the bar said I could do a guest spot. And so this show is booked by a gentleman who lives in Las Vegas. He runs this, he's got a huge number of rooms all across the country. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, he didn't tell me anything about you doing this. And he's like, oh, no, I cleared it with the bar. And so I was talking to the bar and I was like, she goes, oh yeah, he's a regular here. He's funny. He's the chief of the fire department. And I was just like, all right, cool. And I went to the headliner first just to be like, are you cool with this? And he's like, yeah, I don't care. He goes, dude, this is the last time we have to do. This place looks like it sucks. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. So I go up to him. I'm like, all right, man, you can do 5 minutes. I was like, I'm going to go. But because I knew he told me he'd only done comedy one other time. So I was like, all right, dude, this is how it's going to go. Usually I would have you go on after me before the headliner, but I'm not going to because I don't want you to ruin the momentum for the headliner. And so instead, I'm going to go up and I'm going to say the rules of the show so that you don't have to worry about it. And then I'm going to bring you up and then I'm going to come back up after you to do my set. And so he goes up there and proceeds to do 20 minutes about his very recent divorce.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh no, he's going to fucking bum out this room. No, he killed. He crushed. They loved him. He's like their local god. I'm surprised they didn't lift him on their shoulders and chant Rudy, you know? Like they're all just out there doing the fucking worm. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And so then I get up there and I'm like, all right, here we go. And like, they're just like, no, cricket app, you know? It got to the point for the headliner even where he was like, the headliner like had this like one of those like satchel bags, you know? And he was like, and that he was having an issue with that same guy. And he goes, hey man, you know, I keep this bag on me because I keep a gun in here. You know, like he's just like,
fuck it, we're
like,
just
like I will fucking blast you, dude. You know, and I'm like, dude, this is insane. And so then after the show, the headliner is like buddy with these people, like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, and I'm just like, man, you fucking traitor, you know. And so like I'm like loading up my shit, just like fuck that guy, you know. And he comes up to me, he's like, you get paid yet? And I was like, no. Oh, so he's being nice to everyone. He's like collecting like their business cards. He's like, oh hell yeah, dude, I'm gonna tell people that your business is cool on my social media platforms. And he comes up to me and he's like, you been paid yet? And I was like, no. And he's like, dude, let's get paid and get the fuck out of this hick ass town. You know, and I'm just like, oh, what, dude? You were like chatting everyone up. I thought you loved them. He goes, no, dude, I'm collecting their business cards so I can leave bad reviews on their businesses. I'm like, dude, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's the fucking move right there, man.
Yeah,
that's like
that's probably one of the worst shows I ever did for sure.
That's what you keep in the back of your brain for when you have a shit show, and then you just buddy and just use that, you know, down the road.
I mean, what I always like is like whenever, like, it's one thing like if I was the only person to have a bad show, which has happened, that's hurtful. That really sucks. You just feel, it's just like I'm bad. But when we all have a bad time, then now it's a bonding experience that we can all talk about, and like it's not as bad. We're gonna go out and get fucked up afterwards, have a little good time, and just kind of lick our wounds a little bit together. Like when if one person does good and one person does bad, and they rode in a car together, that is a weird car ride.
It's kind of like being in the car after mom and dad just had a fight.
Exactly.
No, yeah, it's one thing when you, and also you can all kind of, if everybody has a bad night, you can go, well, it wasn't us, it was the crowd. You know, you hit them with a reverse card. It was the crowd. We did great. The crowd sucked. Yeah,
we used to always be like, yeah, we were soldiers of comedy tonight, guys. We did the job and we got out.
Nice. I don't know. We, you know, there's a time and a place and an audience for the sound effects. You know, we do a Saturday show where it's just total anarchy. It's a 6-hour long show, and my dumbass, a couple years back, came up with the brilliant idea of let's drop the link and let anybody come in. You know, so now we do the sound effects, but it's the right room. It's the right crowd to do sound effects.
You mean like drop the link so like other people could join like the like how what we're doing right now, not necessarily the chat?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We put the link in the chat, and I'm almost 100% positive we've had at least 3 serial killers on our Saturday night show. Not all at the same time. But yeah, because we get our normal crowd of our normal group of people that come in every Saturday night, but we also get I was just scrolling through YouTube and seeing you guys were live and seeing a link and decided to jump on.
That's nuts. It's almost like it's almost a show in itself, you know, like it's almost like those that Omegle, like I'll see clips of that on social media.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it was one of my. I think I put it up by accident one time a few years back, and we just had so many weird people come in one night. I was like, "Guess what we're doing every Saturday, boys?" And it's been funny, like when I have previous guests that randomly show up and they're expecting this kind of format, and they walk into an absolute dumpster fire train wreck, and everybody's drinking and having a good time, and we're being gross and talking about God knows what. So, but yeah, I couldn't imagine. I mean, I don't know how I would react to doing stand up and some ass clown just dropping a crickets chirping in the crowd.
I didn't know how to react. That was bad.
Like, I'll take this mic stand and beat you within an inch of your life.
Probably my saddest show though was when I was doing a show in, I think this is also in Minnesota. It's like 8 hours away somewhere in Minnesota, small little town. And I was doing my set, and there's two ladies in the front row, and one of them leans over to the other one, and she goes, "He's not very funny." And I literally was like, "Hey, bitch, I can hear you," And she's like, just looked at me, and I literally said this into the mic, and I it's so cringy, and I literally think about it all the time. I said into the microphone, "This isn't fun anymore," like a little girl. Like,
you straight got your feelings just
yeah.
destroyed.
And I finished my set, and then luckily the headliner, he had a good time, so whatever. But that was rough. That was a bad one. That made me go, I don't. And then on the way back, my engine just blew up.
Oh shit!
So like my car got fucked for like 2 weeks. I had to get a whole new engine. Yeah, it was bad. I was like, wow, great, that was worth it.
Yeah. the few bones I made, now I have to put into this stupid car. And some old lady hurt my feelings.
Yeah, bad. I'm gonna start smoking again. That's how bad my feelings were hurt.
I mean, a comedy audience, they can be pretty rough, especially when you're new in the game.
Yeah, and I don't think this is like 3 months ago, man.
Oh, never mind.
That's like 3 months ago, dude.
I was trying to stick up for you and make it sound a little bit better. Like, no, this is just like last weekend, bro.
This was, hey, man, it never, you always have bad shows. It doesn't really get better. But I don't know. And I don't think that they ever like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There are people who 100% intend to be mean with the stuff they say. But I think most of the time they're rooting for you. Like they want you to succeed, because at the end of the day, they paid money to be here. So like, I know that I want to get my money's worth. But man, sometimes they can just get to you.
Yeah. And I think it goes back to like we were talking earlier. Sometimes people just want to feel like they're a part of the show.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. If you want to be a part of the show, go put your time in and get invited to get up on this stage and make your little ha-has in front of people.
Yeah. Also, you could just DM me that I wasn't funny. That I'm fine with that. I'll take that. Give me a follow and then tell me I wasn't funny. Like
well, you say it all the time. A follow is a follow at the end of the day.
Yeah.
that just helps your algorithm. You don't have to like us, just follow us. That'll help my algorithm, because there will be lots of other people out there that will like you outside of that one bonehead.
And my girlfriend gives me shit for like responding to comments on videos, and I'm like, it helps the algorithm. I don't care.
Yeah, don't DM, just comment. Put it in the comment section. It'll help the algorithm. I tell people all the time, if you're watching the replays, drop a comment. I don't care what your comment is. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be whatever. Just throw a comment in there. Tell me how terrible I am. I don't care.
Yeah, it's fine. Who cares?
Because I'll just turn it into more content.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. I was gonna ask you something else and totally forgot. Oh, okay. So this is more for the audience, because I know if they don't hit me with it in the chat, I always get it from people after the show. This is more for the chatters box. Because this is kind of a cheesy cliche question. For you growing up or even now, who are some of your favorite comedians and, some of the comedians that you may look up to in the comedy world?
Currently, right now, my favorite comedian is Sam Talent. Just God, he's so funny. He could look like he could be doing a show, and there could be a blinking light, and he could just do 20 minutes on this blinking light. He's a master of the craft. He's on my. I at this point have gotten to work with almost every single comedian I look up to. I have not got to work with him, and because I love him so much, I don't think it will ever happen. And I'm also kind of. I think he's the one person I might get a little weird with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's not a lot of people know him. He had a special on HBO called Career Suicide. Chris Gethard. When I first started doing comedy, he's someone I really admired. He was a brilliant storyteller. His special, it had me crying, it had me laugh. Like it's a master. He's a master storyteller. Which I learned later. He used to tour with Mike Birbiglia, so that kind of makes sense.
Kind of learned from one of the best.
Yeah. Man, who else do I like? Why can't I think of her name? I love Jordan Jensen. I think Jordan Jensen's very funny. I can't believe I can't think of her name. Maria Bamford. I love Maria Bamford. She's a genius. One of the best. She's the craziest, just wild comedian I've ever met, or I've never met her, but that I've ever seen. John Mulaney, everyone loves John Mulaney, big John Mulaney fan. I'm very late to the game on Shane Gillis, but I really like Shane Gillis a lot. I know that you're a big fan of Bert Kreischer. I don't really care for Bert Kreischer personally. But I will say his show on Netflix was really good.
Which one?
Free Bert.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good.
A lot of people were talking shit on it, and I was like, you know what? I don't like Bert Kreischer, and I loved this show. I thought it was really good. Me and my girlfriend loved it. I hope it gets another season. It was really good.
Yeah, it was really good. He also did the first show that he had with where he was up in I can't remember the name of it, but they were up in a cabin and
he brought his friends out. Yeah, I like that show too. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, that was what in the hell? That was really good as well. Actually, Miss Pat was on an episode of that.
Mm-hmm.
And she was
he was in a hot tub, and she's like, "What are you naked for?"
Yeah, I am a fan of Kreischer. I like his we have that picture up there. That was on our social media. I wish that was actually Bert Kreischer in that picture, but unfortunately that was just an AI thing that one of our friends did. And I was like, I wonder if we can get his attention. We haven't, God damn it, but I do like Shane Gillis though. He's got kind of a wild story with the whole SNL thing and getting fired before he ever really even got to start, and then blowing up at SNL like, oh, will you come back?
I didn't know him before the SNL thing. I remember hearing about the SNL thing, still didn't really know who he was. And then I just the special he did on Netflix, Beautiful Dogs, just kind of caught my eye, and I was just like, well, I'll check this out. I had no idea who he was, and I was like, this might be the funniest comedian I've ever seen in a long time. I like Pete Holmes a lot. I don't know if you know who Pete Holmes is. I think he's very funny. His new YouTube special was one of the better specials I've seen this year. Do you know the Are You Garbage guys?
Garbage. Why does that sound so familiar?
H. Foley and Kevin James Ryan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They put out a special last year that was probably the best special of that year, I think. I think it was called Route 66 or something like that.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I think I've come across them on YouTube before.
Yeah, big fan of those guys. I think they're hilarious. And I'm just now starting to get into all the Skankfest stuff. Never really liked it until recently. My girlfriend got to open for Big J And so then I started doing some like deep dives, and I was like, I actually like these guys. This is fun.
Yeah, the Skankfest guys are hilarious.
Yeah.
Go back to the radio station out of Florida that I listen to, and Calta does. He has all those guys on. One of their DJs is actually a stand-up comedian. He got to do some stuff at Skankfest this year or last year when they were down in New Orleans. I like Big J. Big J's cool. He's a funny dude.
Yeah, my girlfriend said that he was amazing. He was really awesome. Like probably her favorite green room hang she's ever done.
Hell yeah. Have you with one you're just kind of coming into it with Skankfest or even like the Kill Tony thing that's just taken over the world? I mean, have you ever thought about trying to get on board with any of that or trying to do that? Or
I've actually been on Kill Tony.
Oh wow. You are another comedian that has been on the show that has been on Kill Tony. I think I'm up to 3 or 4 of you now.
I was on Kill Tony in 22, 23. I can't really remember. I know I was like a year into comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my girlfriend both got on.
Oh, nice.
And that was that was actually a very fun experience. I wouldn't say I got a lot out of it except for people who would recognize me a little bit because I worked at the comedy club, so they'd be like, "Hey, weren't you on Kill Tony?" But other than that, just I just had a fun experience. I got a big notebook, and I can brag about that for the rest of my life. So,
there you go. Yeah, I mean, put that on the old resume when you're,
I don't actually. I found that a lot of bookers don't like it if you were on Kill Tony, so I don't usually. It's why you notice how you didn't know I was on Kill Tony until you said that.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I've had 2 or 3 other comedians on here, and that's like the very first thing they wanted to talk about. Which I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm kind of new to the Kill Tony thing. Like I kind of fought it off for a long time because I didn't see the point, and it's not even Tony that I find all that amusing as much as the rest of the panel.
Yeah. Tony was very nice to us. It was a good experience. Like me and my girlfriend both did very well. We had a very fun chat with Tony. He was very nice, like kind, like I was saying. We got our notebooks and then we left. And then for a while we talked about it, and then we just a lot of producers were saying like Kill Tony isn't a credit because like it's cool. I know you can do a minute of comedy. I'm not booking you for a minute, or like it's just not. They're like it's not a good credit unless you've been on Kill Tony like a lot of times. You're a regular. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess I can see where that could. I could be kind of go both ways. Some bookers might be like, oh hell yeah, you got that experience and that. Whatever, but because they only give you guys what, a minute, 60 seconds or something like that.
It's a minute, yeah.
Just to get out there and be funny. If not, then are you funny or is the panel, with their little spiels that they do, are they making some people look funnier than what they really are?
My interview was definitely the funnier part of my experience. I will say that they weren't making fun of me. It's just we got into a fun story that we had like a good time doing. But I look back on it too, and I'm always like, God, I don't do any of those jokes I did in that minute. Like my minute now would be so much better.
Yeah.
It's not so I might be in Austin in like October opening for a guy I open for sometimes at Cap City. And if that works out, I'm going to maybe try to get on again just for fun. Cause I know a lot of comics who don't even like Kill Tony. They're like, I'm in Austin. I might as well. Like what, you know what I mean? Yeah.
It's the thing to do. Fucking I'm here. Why not?
Yeah.
Is it a like an all day event trying to get on there? Or is there something that you can?
I wouldn't say it was all day. I know that. God, I don't know how early we showed. I remember we went to an open mic probably the day before at the Creek in the Cave. I think it was the Creek in the Cave, and we were talking to some of the comics there, and they were telling us like they gave us a time, like yo, you want to show up at this time to sign up. Otherwise, you're going to be the line's insane.
Yeah.
We were pretty up in line when we got there, so that was actually really good advice. Dude, the freaks that are at that thing, man.
Oh,
Like, I feel like we were surrounded by people wearing capes, like. And I remember they were telling us that like 200 people sign up for this thing every time. But it was July, and it was like the hottest day of the year in July. It was disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
So the number of people who signed up was like 100 instead of 200, which I think really helped the chances there. And then yeah, and then you just you sign, the second you sign up, you don't have to stand in line anymore. You can go do whatever. I don't know if the place exists anymore, but there was like a bar like a block away where they had an open mic called Minute to Win It, where you can like do your 1 minute before the show starts. And then we did that, and then we went, and then actually my girlfriend got called, and then she did her shit, and then she had mentioned that she was in town because I was in town visiting family, and they're like, "Oh, your boyfriend does comedy? Let's get him up here." So then she got me up there, which is nice. Yeah.
You had an in, man.
Oh yeah. Well, we talked about it beforehand. We're like, if any of us get on, we mention the other person.
Absolutely, that's the only way to do it. Otherwise, you're dead to me.
Well, it's just like it's funny if you watch the video, her name gets called, and then so I don't know how they do it at the Vulcan now or at the mothership, but we did it when it was at the Vulcan, and so like there's cages that they put all the comics in, which is a metaphor in itself, Yeah. But so there's these 2 cages that all the comics are crammed into, and they like open the door for you if your name gets called, right? And there's a camera that's like, because there's like these 2 alcove entryways, and there's a camera, and so the camera pans over because she's coming out of the cage, right? And I'm right behind her, and my face is just like, are you fucking kidding me? Because I was a fan. She had no idea I was a fan of the show. I was like,
yeah,
you gotta be fucking kidding me. And then she brought me up, and I was like, all right, that's cool,
just deadpan the camera.
It was like her 6th time doing comedy, and I was like, you bitch.
Yeah. Come on. Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh man. I think that's great that you guys, that I'm sure there's some underlying like competition, or maybe not underlying, but I think that's really great that both you guys are kind of doing the same thing, but you support each other and don't let that get in the way. Yeah,
it's not like, it's definitely taken a turn for the better. Not like she just got offered a really cool opportunity, but her car, she can't do, because like my car is like good, it's a good car. Her car sucks. We can't really afford to get her a new one, and so she can't really do anything too far away, right? And so she got offered this really cool opportunity to work a club that haven't even got to do yet. I've done it, but not in the way that I want to do it. And it's an opportunity that, a couple of years ago I might have been like, why not me? You know what I mean? But she got offered this opportunity, and because I don't have anything going on that day, I was like, fuck, I'll drive you.
Yeah. Hey.
Like, why not?
And then you tell the club, hey, I cleared it with the comedian. I can do 5 minutes.
No, it's not about me. It's not about me. I'm happy that she gets to do this, because at some point, maybe she can help me get in there.
Yeah, exactly. That's that nice that built-in partnership. She can if she has a good show and they really like her, she can go, I know a guy and he's pretty damn funny. He would kill.
Yeah.
You should check him out. So yeah, that's awesome, man. I want to get ready and wrap up. I don't want to keep you too much longer. I do want to say again, thank you for coming on. Thank you for reaching out, dude. It was awesome getting to know, get to know a little bit more about you and getting to hang out with you. Everybody that's watching, whether it's replays or however you guys are watching, go check out Trevor. He's on all the social medias everywhere. I know I got it in here somewheres. Yeah, no, I gotta. There we go. That's the one I wanted. Right there. The my girlfriend / stage producer. She got all your links here in the chat. So if you guys are watching the replay and you scroll over to the live chat, you'll see all the links there. Also, if that's too much work for you and you're already following us, I've tagged them in everything. I made your job easy. All you gotta do is just click.
And follow me on Instagram. That's the one that I need the most right now. That's the one I'm trying to build.
Yeah, Instagram is the that's the money.
That's the one right there. That's the one I need. That's what I'm behind on.
Yeah, that's the one that we use and abuse like crazy. I love Instagram. It's probably, as much as I hate social media, it's probably my favorite out of all of them. I think it's the most user friendly, and for what we do here, I think it's the best. I mean, I'm able to reach out to musicians, comedians, whatever, and vice versa. And it's so much smoother. Facebook is an absolute nightmare. So
yeah,
I know they're the same company. How can one be so great and the other one just be dog shit?
Fuck you, Zuck.
Yeah. Yeah, watch out! Don't get a Zuck. We've been there before.
You're not even monetized. Who cares?
Yeah, we're trying to.
Yeah,
we're trying to. Before I let you go, we get out of here, man. I know this is kind of cheesy, a little cliche. I don't give a fuck. It's my thing. It's what I do. Life advice, and then advice for anybody thinking about getting into comedy. What's some advice you would give, or something somebody gave you that's really resonated through the years?
Life advice. I mean, just do what makes you happy at the end of the day. And if what makes you happy is no longer making you happy anymore, go to something else that's making you happy. But I mean, God, that's also bad advice, because I also look at like relationships and I'm like, sometimes happiness takes work too. Don't just quit on something the second it doesn't make you happy anymore. But for comedy, 100% make friends. That's really big. It's something that I really struggle with, and it's something that I think really hinders me. And I need to be better at. And I think that like all the there's a comic that I've been like working with kind of recently. He's funny enough, right? But he's so fun to hang out with. He's such a good vibe. And he gets so many opportunities from it. It's crazy. And I would like to be more like that. And then also do it. Just do it. Like the amount of people I've met that are like, I want to try it. And I've seen them come to open mics like a million times and they never get on stage. And it's like, just fucking do it. Because the second you do it, you're going to want to do it again. It's that easy.
Yeah, you hear that? I'm not an asshole when I tell people don't talk about it, be about it. Because he literally just said the same thing.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I say that a lot. Just do it. Shut up. Nobody wants to hear you talk about it.
I can't. Moshe Kasher, there's a book I read. I think it was like 15 Comedy Voices or something, and he said it was like these comedians giving like their biggest pieces of advice about comedy, and his was, if you can do anything else, do that. And if not, then this is what I have for you. Like,
yeah, right. If you can't, if this is absolutely the last thing you can possibly do, that's crazy. Now again, man, hey, thank you for coming on, Trevor. It was awesome. It was a blast. I think you're awesome. I don't mind your mean, angry face. And tell your girlfriend that you're fine. Because when he smiles,
sometimes.
When he smiles, it looks like he's going to be burying bodies later. And I always like catching up. So down the road, if you want to come back on, or if you're interested, the door's always open, man. I always like to catch up down the road. And if your girlfriend is interested, I'd love to have her on too. Right now, like I said, I'm slammed until October, but if she's interested, love to have her on and chat with her. And she's got to be a different style and a different mindset than you, I would assume.
Oh yeah, 100%, way different speed. She's like, the one thing that's really nice about our dynamic in comedy is that she is the friendly one, the personable one. So she really runs a lot of damage control for me, which is awesome.
That's awesome. No, guys, make sure you check out Trevor on Instagram. Go follow the Instagram. Even if you don't like him, just follow him. And then tell him, I don't like you. And then he'll make more content out.
Yeah, I will share that.
Yeah, it's a win-win. You get to tell him how you feel, and he gets to make more content and grow the Instagram page. Anything else you want to throw out there? Upcoming shows? Any other anything else you want people to check out before we jump off here?
No, I think that's it. Just follow me on those things. I put out a lot. I put out other stuff besides stand-up. I do a lot of like talking head stuff. There's some old sketches I used to do, and I plan on some more sketches in the future too. So.
Oh yeah, there you go, guys. Check out Trevor. Show him some love. If he might be he might be coming to a town near you. Go check him out. Go see him live. Go support him that way.
On my website. All my dates are on my website.
Yeah, there you go. Make sure you talk and do crickets and all that stuff throughout his show.
Yeah, I will love that. I totally don't carry a gun with me now.
Yeah, right. Make sure you guys check us out, the Nonsensical Network. We are everywhere. bio.link/Nonsensical Network. If you guys want to support the show, help us do what we do, you're more than welcome to. Tune in tomorrow night for Speedway Stories. Wally and Johnny will have Evan Collins and Devin Scott on talking tough trucks. I don't know how that's any different from rough trucks, but I don't
want to miss that.
I don't do motorsports shows because I don't know shit about that shit. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you again, Trevor. We're going to end the show with a little Kissing Lilith. Why? Because I love this song and I love this video. So if you want to hear a kick-ass song and watch a really crazy video, former guest of my music show, feel free to stick around and watch the video. It's wild. We hit these buttons and we're going to get the flock out of here.
myself and drown